Tori Trance.
What's up with you? Off the Riff Podcast.
Off the Riff Pod. First episode. Yeah.
So before we even start, so how's everything? It's been a long week. It's been a long weekend.
Long weekend for sure. Tumultuous to say the least.
How you been? How you feeling?
I've been doing pretty good. Honestly, I've been doing a lot better today than other days. How about you?
I mean, it was what, Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, Sunday. I had to work.
It was a good weekend. Being a Drake fan, it was a lot of wear and tear.
I'm a Drake fan, but I didn't feel the wear and tear.
It was a lot of wear and tear. Group chat been tearing me up, but no Diddy.
Yeah, no Diddy.
No, it's been a long weekend. Mentally, I'm good. I got some things working on that I've been working on as far as getting back into my apparel phase. So I've been working on that. So that's been pretty good.
New clothes coming soon.
So, but as far as this pod, the pod for today, the theme is adaptability, and we wanted to incorporate that into going through the whole diss tracks beef that's been going on with Drake and Kendrick and the rest of the industry. But first of all, we just want to give our opinion on the list of tracks of how they came out so far.
And leading up to today, all of the disses that have came out from both Kendrick and Drake, we're going to briefly talk about that because it's looking like shit is wrapped.
So it's been a lot of back-to-backs, a lot of disses, a lot of shit to pan over. It's been a lot. But we just gonna go through each diss track, just give our opinion on it, and a little how we feel about it. So we gonna start with what, first person shooter?
First person shooter.
I think I feel like it was a good song. We haven't heard Cole and Drake together in a long time. I think that it became an entryway point for Kendrick based upon what Cole said, talking about the big three, which really sparked a lot. But I think it was a good song. I think Drake set up Cole to do what he usually do, kill a feature, and that shit sparked the whole fucking number tour. So I think it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, I feel like First Person Shooter was a good song. I feel like that album was a really good album. So I feel like First Person Shooter, I love Drake's verse. I love the switch up. I love how the track switched. So that was a really good song to me. I didn't think that things was going to unfold the way that they ended up unfolding following that track, but it was a really good song, to say the least. So.
That's good.
Yeah.
So now we go into Like That.
Like That.
Which is the Future, Metro, Kendrick. And I felt like that just was like, when Cole did the big three, it just opened up the whole, whatever plan they had with dissing this nigga or going at this motherfucker, I felt like that was a perfect entryway into attacking Drake, sending shots at Cole, and it really, and since it's been such a big hit, it was like, you really gotta do something about it. You really gotta respond about it. And I felt like, it was a good song. They're still playing it in the clubs.
Metro being who he is, the producer that he is, the connections that he has, Like That definitely took off the way that I'm pretty sure he anticipated it to. And everybody who was featured on the track. I'm not sure if A$AP Rocky was on the original or a feature.
He was on the second one.
He was on a remix?
It was two fucking albums.
Yeah, it's two full-blown albums.
I wouldn't say dedicated to this and Drake, but it definitely was fueling the rollout.
Yeah, I feel like That was good. I don't want to call myself a Kendrick fan. I'm not a fan of Kendrick. Kendrick makes really good music. I have him in my phone. And I feel like we haven't heard from Kendrick in a while. I'm not really sure when the last time he dropped, personally speaking. But him coming out with the verse the way that he did definitely set shit off the way that it needed to. And if this was about to be pretty much the initiation of a battlefield of warfare, I feel like Kendrick Kendrick set that shit off the way that he was supposed to. It's not no big 3, nigga. It's big me. He let that shit be known.
I felt like that shit.
He let that shit be known. I felt like he stood 10 toes on that. And that kind of just goes into 7-minute drill, right? Because Kendrick stood 10 toes on his shit. Kendrick stood 10, and even Drake stood 10 on how he feels, who he is, how he identifies as an artist overall.
All right. It was a great send-off shot to where it put motherfuckers it put Drake and Cole in the corner to where you gotta respond.
Right.
And I just felt like Cole with 7-minute drill half-heartedly responded.
It didn't give Cole though. I'll be honest. Even listening to the diss, that wasn't Cole nature. That wasn't of Cole. We don't see J. Cole dissing niggas. We don't see J. Cole really being confrontational. Do we see J. Cole being confident in his skill? Of course. He speaks highly of himself. He knows that he brings some of the best features. He know he one of them boys.
No.
He knows J. Cole know he one of them boys.
He's
He know he one of them boys.
He's talented, he's nice. He was, but this is the battlefield. It gets fucked up, it gets messy. Yes. This is the battlefield.
Yes.
And you was talking a lot. I'm not gonna take anything from J. Cole, because I fuck with J. Cole. J. Cole is like one of my favorite artists. But in this moment in time, you're gonna be remembered as the motherfucker who sent out a half-hearted diss and then backtrack, talk about you couldn't catch any sleep.
Not only did you drop a diss, nigga, because this is to you, Cole. If you see this shit, you said on first person shooter, you feel like fucking Muhammad Ali, nigga. You said that shit. This was before 7-minute drill, before you were saying that niggas calling my phone telling me to diss this nigga. You initiated this shit. You said this shit confidently. Right now, I'm feeling like Muhammad Ali.
That's the issue.
Numero uno. You said that, nigga. You said that.
That's the issue.
So when you drop 7-minute drill, nigga, and then you decided that you wanted to be a bitch and cry about it after the fact.
That's my only issue. Cole,
I don't appreciate that, bro.
Cole has the talent to go toe to toe. I think a lot of people wanted to see him go toe to toe with Kendrick as far as rapping ability, because I feel like Cole brings a different nature of rapping ability than what Drake do. Not saying who's better or worse. I just think it would have been a better matchup. And I think if Cole really would have put his heart into it and really just would have just did it for the sport, it would have been good. But
Cole and Kendrick going at each other though in the media, it wouldn't have looked right.
I feel like once he put it out there and the criticism of the albums, and then once you put something out there, you start seeing the reflection of yourself. And the fans are going to start digging. Twitter is going to start digging, or X, whatever you want to call it, is going to start digging. And you're going to have to start facing your demons. And I felt like he didn't want that shit in his life.
I'll say this, Cole, I enjoyed 7-minute drill. I enjoyed it. It was different from you. But the fact that you came out and recanted and then went on your fucking concert and was out that bitch talking about love yours. Bro, I don't have too much to say after that. You keep on making your KOPs, your Kevin Harts. You fucking want to put Richard Pryor on your shit. Keep doing that, and that's cool, bro.
I feel like Cole, with everything that went down, Cole has developed and maintained a growth mindset. He didn't want to deal with this shit. He didn't want it to overshadow everything that he had going on. Okay. And
what does J. Cole have going on right now?
I mean, as far as the album and stuff that he has going on and shit, like he don't want to deal with the shit that clearly Drake is dealing with. He didn't want to deal with that shit. He didn't want the skeletons of the past to come back up, and he backed up. And at the end of the day, we could be disappointed in him doing that shit, but hey, you gotta sleep in your house. You gotta make your bed. That's the shit that you gotta do. So after that, I feel like that put like a damper on a lot of shit. But we can always count on the boy. He's ready for the shit, and he dropped push-ups.
Yeah, he dropped push-ups.
And
I enjoy push-ups too.
Push-ups is good. Push-ups is good. He took the battle head on. He said, fuck all the years that's been going back and forth with subliminals.
He said, fuck all you niggas. Fuck all y'all. Fuck ASAP. Fuck Well, he didn't say fuck Future.
Not
he don't really want to beef with Future.
But
he fuck ASAP, fuck Pharrell, fuck Nav, fuck The Weeknd, fuck all you niggas.
But I feel like push-ups was a good concept. Breaking down Kendrick's contract that I feel like nobody, because we haven't really heard anybody go at Kendrick. Like, what angle are you going to attack Kendrick from? Drake first attack on him was his contract, giving 50. His split from TDE. I don't know how well people are, you know what I'm saying, have followed that, but clearly, you know, and dropping and with that, and then alluding to, I think on a, not really going in depth, but alluding to and setting up the split with his wife and stuff like that. So I felt like as a track to send something back was good. And push-ups is it's a good, nice little bop. Push-ups
was a good initial track for Drake.
And it was. I feel like it's a good setup. It's like you sent a few shots at me. I'm sending a few shots back at you. We can go down this route that you want to with bodyguards like Whitney. If we can do, if that's what we're gonna do, that's what we're gonna do.
I'll say this. However, with Drake's follow-up of TAEMediaHub, because he felt like Kendrick was taking too long, whatever, I'm about to drop this shit and I'm gonna use AI. I feel like that kind of dampened where Drake stood, because it's like, nigga, we don't want to fucking hear Tupac rap, bro. Like, we cool with what he already has put out. We don't need
let's stop this shit. Stop.
We don't need you using AI fucking rapping using Tupac's voice. We don't need that shit. And then Snoop Dogg is alive. Why the fuck did you use AI? And as a Snoop Dogg voice.
I get it. But can we look at it from a creative standpoint?
Okay.
We are in a diss battle. This nigga Kendrick is on record saying that he was asleep, having dreams of Tupac talking to him.
Okay.
So a lot of the AI shit came out after before the whole push-up tracks was it real, was not real, and then people was making return disses, and they checked in with the one guy to see how he made it, and then they just utilized the AI aspect of it. Like, all right, well, I'm about to be Tupac. From a creative standpoint, it might not have sonically sound good. From a creative standpoint, that's how I look at it. Sonically, I feel like a lot of things people can do a lot of things better or differently. But I felt like, would you rather hear AI Tupac or AI Tupac with Drake rapping AI Tupac, or Drake trying to rap like Tupac?
I would have preferred Drake to not have taken that angle at all.
I feel like that's a good angle.
I would have preferred him to not take that
angle. I feel like it was a good angle, but I feel like he underestimated the West Coast.
The whole world was waiting on timestamp Drake, and Drake didn't give us timestamp Drake.
He didn't need to do timestamp
until later on in the beef. He didn't give us timestamp Drake.
I think a lot of people didn't like the TAEMediaHub shit. I get it. Tupac is your idol. You don't want to be. He's passed away. He's dead. R.I.P. to Tupac, and you just don't want to equivocate those feelings and shit. But I feel like, as from a creative standpoint, I'm talking to you in a Tupac voice, like, yo, you got to do something for the West. And then it's just points of, as Tupac was your idol, Snoop was at the House of Blues with Game, giving you the torch to pass on to you, and Snoop is talking to you, and then Drake comes on and talk to you. I felt like creatively, you can dismiss it all you want to, but I feel like from a creative standpoint, that's a creative ass record.
And
utilizing something that we all have a question about, wondering what the fuck is going to happen with AI.
I agree with that. I agree with that notion. If we're going to look at it from the perspective, from like a creative perspective, and just looking at it from the artistic value of it all, yeah, I like the fact that he incorporated AI into one of his tracks, because as far as we know, nobody else in the industry has explicitly used AI in their music. So for Drake to be the first to do it, I definitely can appreciate him kind of playing around and toying with it and trying to see how it goes. However, I feel that him using Tupac's AI voice, or however it's articulated, I don't think that really panned out the way that he thought that it was. It didn't resonate with the people the way that he thought that it was. And nobody really gave too much of a fuck of hearing Tupac's voice rapping with the cadence and flow of Drake. A lot of people didn't like that connection. It was like,
I feel like throughout the whole thing, Drake tends to miss. Even though he might shoot from the logo, but he tends to miss the shot. Yeah. But he has confidence in shooting the shot. And we can talk about the aspect of that being open to learning. Adaptability within that realm of AI being played with.
That was a learning lesson for him. Yeah, that was a learning lesson.
It's a learning lesson as far as he was playing with AI. He's going to play with AI. I'm going to put this in my arsenal and I'm going to utilize it. And as an artist,
art is to be critiqued. Art is subjective.
I feel like he took the chance. He took the chance. But in hindsight, doing that shit united the West Coast. And I think that really where the weakness in the battle for Drake came from, because the West Coast united against this nigga.
Like, you can't use us against us, nigga.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm big in your city. He set himself up for a lot of shit. And then after that, after TAEMediaHub and the whole not the cease and desist, but they was planning to sue, they was threatening to sue him with the 2x. It erases the track. It erases the track. Yeah. So it's just like the creativity aspect. As far as me, I'm looking at all this shit from a creative standpoint. I don't know none of these niggas. I don't know what the fuck they got going on in their lives and shit. But I feel like, hey, niggas is talking about AI. Niggas is using all as an AI. I'm about to throw this shit in the battle. And I appreciate that this nigga had the balls to
even use AI.
To do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't go off well, but I feel like, hey, sometimes you got to be the first nigga over the hill. Like Hov said, sometimes Kanye is the first nigga over the hill.
Now that Drake has done it, another nigga go and do it.
I mean, I think this battle was good. And then we transfer into Euphoria. Now, as a Drake fan, I heard Euphoria. I think it started off real kind of slow. But
I enjoyed Euphoria.
I gotta listen to it some more. I can't do a complete
I feel like yeah, we can't do a deep dive with Euphoria. That was 2 or 3 different beat switches.
But what I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. The angle was played. Drake pointed out the angle that you was about to go.
Okay.
In TAEMediaHub. He pointed out you about to go down that, you know what I'm saying, fucking with the young girls angle and shit. And Euphoria, I don't necessarily know that it was straight out going at him about it, but I felt like it was the opening of the canister of like, well, this is the route I'm about to go down because I'm using Euphoria. That is your show that you was a director on, and it's about like that shit got real kind of weird with how people are trying to interpret shit like, oh yeah, Drake is definitely one of them pedos because he is a director on a show with teens fucking like, all right, because you open that latch, you ain't even gotta do the work. All the people on X and Twitter is gonna be the niggas that's gonna. Oh yeah. That's the nerd on this shit.
That shit together.
They gonna eat it up. They gonna be the ones that's gonna be the echo chamber for this shit to be like, yeah, niggas been saying this shit. We about to go in, bring that shit up. And Drake already said in TAEMediaHub, you're gonna use that as a fucking angle that you're gonna use. And I feel like Joe Budden podcast was one of the ones that really went in depth with telling about with the Mike and Prince line to really go into using that shit, turning it into a pedo shit. So the Euphoria shit did what it was supposed to do, but my initial thought after the Euphoria, it didn't kill Drake.
Yeah, Euphoria didn't kill Drake.
The story of Advertisement killed Drake. Yeah. Euphoria didn't, which shows me.
I don't want to talk about Pusha T.
No, we're not going to talk about that shit.
Yeah,
but whatever energy Drake had for Kendrick now is what he should have had for Pusha T. But as far as what I'm saying as Euphoria was a good track. But we gonna have to go on record and say that it did not kill Drake. It just left the fucking door open. As of where it didn't seem like nobody was really ready to take kill shots. And then after Euphoria, he dropped
616 in LA.
616 in LA. I can't speak on it.
I can't speak to that. So
I can't because I don't
feel like 616 in LA was just so like it was like in the wind. Like I don't want to call it a bad track necessarily, but it was really in the wind for me.
We ain't do our research, yo.
Yeah, yo. Shout out to Maurice. 616 in LA, like
I don't know. I can't recall it was 616 in LA, but it was a time. Well, it's the timestamp for Kendrick, so he's going to use the timestamp on Drake. I mean, I felt like they should have seen that shit coming. And then with 616, it was.
And 616 LA,
but
he addressed.
It previewed the little picture.
Some ghostwriting allegations too. Like he talked about that. He talked about how.
Oh yeah, the AI versus
ghostwriters
and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it showed that Kendrick. The whole narrative of Kendrick writes slow. Kendrick in this whole
also
situation shows me that
in OVO.
Oh yeah, it set up the wires.
I'm looking at the lyrics as we speak, y'all. I'm looking at the lyrics. So
it set up the wire. So
yeah, he's addressing a couple of little things. He's feeling like he's sonning Drake, which I agree with to an extent. He told Drake that he can't tussy slide out of this one. That's what he told him in 616 LA. You can't tussy slide out of this one. Yeah, man. Kendrick just was in this nigga ass. No diddy. Shout out to Baltimore. That's where we from. Yeah.
I feel like 616 was trying to get like it. All right, so he opened up the jar in Euphoria. 616 as he starting to take shit out of the jar.
Yeah.
And then he had the little display of the Maybach gloves for it. Be like, yo, we got like the show, like, yo, we got some shit on you, nigga. That I know you missing. And then I felt like Drake presented this whole I'm about to press the red button. And when it was the first initially start when it was about to come back, niggas was like, yo, I heard some shit from Drake. Niggas got a bone. And I feel like Family Matters is the bone that Drake had.
That was the bomb.
Family
If
Matters
we talk
was the
about
red
Drake's Instagram story and how he's been posting, like, I'm not gonna say he's strategically posting, but the way that he's been posting certain like memes and shit like that, and like throughout the midst of the beat, Family Matters was definitely the red button. That was the red button that he was pressing. However, it didn't kill Kendrick.
That's what I'm saying. We not gonna sit here and act like Family Matters is either one or two within this whole realm of diss tracks.
Yes, it is.
It's either one or two. A lot of people feel like, oh, he going, like in the middle he was going at Ross, Weekend, ASAP. Fuck it. If we in the battle, we You say that shit was some peak Drake.
That was
shit.
peak Drake. I'm not gonna lie. That last beat switch when he said Kendrick was over in his mouth. Somebody give him a great whatever he said. Yo, Drake. I haven't heard Drake rap like that in a long time.
Here's the thing. In my whole and going into this battle, I thought like it was one or two things that needed to happen. A nigga needed to drop a whole video on a diss track, and a nigga needed to either hit the studio on some LA Leakers or some fucking funk flex shit and rap and really bring that shit back. And I felt like with the video, taking the Good Kid, Mad City van, smashing that shit, leading from the push-ups last
I
track.
want to give Drake his flowers for that shit, yo. I want to give Drake his flowers for that shit, yo. Because when I seen the video for Family Matters, I was ecstatic. I was elated. When I seen the fucking van and the demolishing the van, yo, that whole shit, when they was in New Hope King, and that shit looked like paid in full, nigga, and they had the table with the Chinese food, that shit, that made me feel like, yo, Drake, you him, bro. You doing what you want to do, yo. You know
what I thought was the craziest flip? The Mike and Jack shit. The Michael Jackson and Prince shit. Like, maybe I'm Prince
and you actually like, yeah. Because he wanted to change his features so people will believe that he's white. Yeah, that's
what top with you on songs with the fucking pop artist so you can rap for the whites. And isn't Jermaine your brother? And you wouldn't keep him out of the light?
Spotlight, yeah.
Come on, yo.
But it's crazy because both Drake and Kendrick are saying the same shit about each other in reference to Cole. Like, both y'all niggas don't really fuck with Cole like that. Kendrick is saying Drake don't fuck with Cole. Like, why are you faking? Why are you pretending? And Drake is saying the same shit like, nigga, you don't fuck with Cole either because you want the spotlight. You don't want Cole to shine at all.
I felt like it just sounds weird when it's just like, you did, but it's like, you're not dead. So it sounds weird.
I didn't really like the way that he ended that pretty much saying like anybody who's condoning us going against each other, you did. That's what he was saying. Like I don't really like nigga. This was bound to happen.
Family Matters. I feel like it's 2 tracks in this whole round that are 2 peak classics. Family Matters is one.
Yes.
And then Kendrick just stepped on Family Matters.
With Meet the Gram.
And it just
oh
was just
my gosh, yo.
And it had so many people up because if you talk about Meet the Grams, the main thing that we heard from that is everybody was searching and looking
for. Hold on. When we talk about Meet the Grams, I wanna break this shit down for a second because we already know that Drake said that he was feeding lies or whatever, right? Cool.
No.
Before we even tap into that, right? Yeah, after the fact. But before we tap into that, Meet the Grams, I want to talk about how that shit sounds. Now, mind y'all, I woke up, I felt like academics. Niggas is blowing my phone up telling me both Drake and Kendrick dropped the night before I was asleep. So I'm waking up, I'm listening to everything, and when I heard Meet the Grams, it literally sounded like a horror movie, like some Freddy Krueger shit, like a nighttime story, like a bedtime story, like this nigga talking to Adonis directly, talking to Drake directly, talking to his mom and his dad directly. This shit, at that moment, I started to feel like this shit is bigger than rap, and this sounds like a conversation that was supposed to be had behind closed doors, but this shit has been brought to the forefront for the people to witness and for us to kind of like...
I'll put it like this. Concept-wise, it was a great track. It
was a great track. Whether the information was fake or not.
No, but see, I'm saying, this is why I feel like the Meet the Gram, Meet the Gram bottom falls out when it's in consideration of like, you are talking to, it was your story of Advertisement moment that you was having, but you got fed wrong information.
Yeah.
And it was just like...
I thought he was going to have a Pusha T moment.
Because the Pusha T moment was so great that you can't
replicate that.
Motherfuckers was so thirsty. How deep this shit go? Motherfuckers was so thirsty to have another reveal. Another kid reveal.
Yeah, like...
And niggas just know that shit and like just fed them the fucking information. Now, if it's true or not, I don't know. But...
yeah, we'll never know.
It is what it is.
Drake can have hella kids out here. We don't know.
But what I'm saying is, as far as the shit go, with the picture of the random ass items, with your 11-year-old daughter, I'm talking to her, and it's just like, that's why I feel like Meet the Grams is great, but then the fucking bottom just falls out of it. Because it's just like, you got fed wrong information, and now you're rapping about it. So now it's just like, anything anybody tells you, you're about to run with.
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would say like,
you are so thirsty for another kid reveal for this nigga.
But with the culture behind dissing and the culture behind hip hop and rap, like, niggas lie. Like, even if he was fed information, not fed information, he felt like that was the thing. Niggas lie and this is all the time.
But that's the point.
Just to make the other nigga look bad.
That's the point. You talking about a mole. You talking about you getting information. You talking about my 11-year-old daughter.
I would like to know who the is.
And all that. It ain't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you talking about all this information and you talking about the picture. And it's just like, you surrounded the whole Meet the Grams around that picture and 616 in LA, because that was a little screenshot of the picture.
Right.
Around a bunch of false flag information. I just proved to y'all that your ass is so thirsty for information that you ain't even doing the deep dive on the information that you getting. You just thinking some nigga in the camp giving you the shit.
And you know what? That's why we go into Not Like Us, because you want to know something? Even though the information that you might have fed me was fake, let's go into the shit that I do know about you. And we don't, as the fans, as the people, we don't know if that shit is facts. As we get into Not Like Us, the pedophilic claims being made against Drake, we don't know if it's facts. However, I feel like, all right, cool. If the mole was fake, if the information that was fed to me was fake, well, it's not like I ain't work with you. It's not like I don't know you personally, like outside of the music shit. So what about the shit that I have? What is that I have seen you do?
I mean,
you gotta put that out here now.
I mean, Drake is a nigga that fucked a lot of bitches. And when you are dealing with a motherfucker who people perception of a nigga is a faithful ass nigga that don't do shit, the nigga that don't have the relationship that's out here that's a playboy mentality fucking all these bitches, they're gonna look at him a certain type of way.
Right.
Like, you don't have no discipline. You'll fuck anything. Da 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 da. And it's just based upon you looking at a certain nigga. So you playing on the shit, and then you playing on, oh, DeRozan left, da 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 da. Like, oh, tell LeBron and stuff to hide the kids from you and shit. Like, you at this point you just slinging a narrative, and you playing up the narrative. Everybody is playing the narrative and shit. So they painting the picture of you. I got this information about you. Is this information about you with these people, with these kids, with this woman, with this da 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 da? And I'm gonna paint the narrative because most motherfuckers who don't pay attention to this shit is not looking into this shit, so they don't know what the fucking the ins and outs of the shit is. Right. Oh, such and such got a sexual assault case. Da 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 da. Obviously, he did it.
Yeah, because who the fuck is the nigga on OVO that has a sexual assault charge or something like that? Chubbs? Baca, whoever the fuck these things are. Baca had a sex trafficking, da da da, all that shit. Yeah, okay. But it's one of those. I look at it like this: like in this day and age, sex trafficking is hoes and pimps. That's sex trafficking. If I am a pimp in Baltimore and I take 5 hoes with me to go to Miami, and I got a homie there, and these bitches, pussy, that's sex trafficking. And these chicks are doing shit, that's sex trafficking. Yeah. But in emphasis illicit sex, yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how, like, we're looking at it now that way. But and the reality of it is, like, fucking Hugh Hefner was sex trafficking bitches. Like, but at one point, Hugh Hefner was that nigga. Because he had all the bitches. It's how we looking at it and shit. Like, we look at pimps. Niggas is looking up the pimps in the streets. But nowadays, it's just like, oh my God, you are this type of nigga, da 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 da. And the reality of the situation is, if you grab a bunch of chicks from Baltimore that want to go strip and fuck niggas in Miami, you are sex trafficking them women. Yeah. Regardless if regardless if they are going willingly or not willingly, it's still sex trafficking because you are charging niggas to fuck. Yeah. The chicks that are coming with you at the party and shit. So we can get into the in-depth details and really look at what it is, but on the surface level of it is, as far in this day and age, Baca was charged with sex trafficking, so yes, that's why you have somebody within your crew that is charged with that. Like the Nicki Minaj situation with her husband and how they look at that as he's a sex offender with a situation where he was when he was 16 in that age, like it's no grace for the mistake. Yeah. So you're just playing. It's the you know what I'm saying. Whatever narrative Drake's is playing with your kids and with your wife and you abusing her. It's the same narrative that Kendrick is playing with. It's just as far as the court of public opinion goes. Yeah, because the culture got to decide. At the end of the day, the people are going to decide who they fuck with, who they don't fuck with, what they believe, what they don't believe. Niggas is going to make that decision. And I personally feel like being an African American in today's society, I'm not a man, but I understand the gravity of sexual assault, like, or just being sexually aggressive, like those type of accusations being made against a man, whether it's rape against an adult woman or a child, like those are very strong accusations to make against somebody. And if you don't, I'm not gonna say if you don't have the proof to back it, but if you're saying that shit without real evidence that it actually happened, I feel like that's real fucked up. And that's what brings me to I don't know how Drake is going to be able to like come back from the shit. Like,
I mean,
because we don't know if he is grooming, like the grooming accusations. We don't know if it's true or not.
It's the perception. If you have a perception of somebody, that's always going to be your perception, right? We also like, which goes into the part 6. Mm-hmm. It's the perception of the shit. if Drake never faces another allegation of child sex trafficking or whatever and grooming and shit,
right,
then 10 years, 20 years from now, we're gonna look back and be like, this nigga Kendrick was fucking lying.
Yeah.
Like, it's just one of those things. Like, there was an allegation.
But it's gonna take time to get to that point until the people, the masses, realize if it is a lie. It's gonna take some time before the masses are able to be like, oh yeah, Kendrick was lying. Let's give Drake grace because he never was on no pedophile shit. He never fucked with a kid. Like,
so that's the thing, and it's we in the right now. So anything that's out there is going to be used against the motherfucker to paint the narrative. Nobody is trying to tell the truth. Everybody is trying to paint the narrative. Like, we can take the video of DMX initially saying he don't fuck with Drake, he don't like Drake.
right.
And everybody that wants to clamor to that narrative is going to use that tape, but not going to use the second tape when after he talked to this nigga and what he.
Yeah, because DMX did eventually start saying like he fucked with Drake. Even if it was surface level, he did say after the fact he fucked with Drake.
It's one of those things where it's just like, this is the narrative, we're going to take it, da 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 da. It's just one of those things, coming off of Diddy and Epstein and Weinstein and the Me Too movement.
Wayne Maxwell, all of this shit. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where with the R. Kelly shit, it's just like the grooming of young girls is going to be more prevalent in the community than beating on a woman.
Okay, so now we're going into the accusations of domestic violence for Kendrick. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. And the rebuttal of Part 6 is, oh, I see why you are so enamored with the pedophilia shit because as a child you were molested. But
Kendrick never said that though. If Drake would have listened to Mother I Sober.
This is the thing. It's not about Kendrick is painting the narrative to you of what happened to them, which is nothing. But my mother was going through the trauma of dealing with molestation and putting it on me.
Right.
That's the generational curse passed down. Somebody else can listen to that shit and be like, yeah, nice way to say that you didn't get molested, nigga.
Yeah. Because
you in denial about getting molested. And that's the flip.
The way in which you interpreted it.
The flip is, oh, either one or two things. You are a substance because it happened to your mother and you still dealing with the trauma, or it happened to you and you still dealing with the trauma. Just like if one of your kids is not yours, it's breeding a certain thing in you. It's breeding resentment in you. Is this why you don't like me? It's one of those things where it's just like a nigga hates you so much, and you just sit there and be like, why the fuck do you hate me? And it's just like, oh, I hate everything about you. I hate everything, your mouth, your smile, da da da. And when it boils down to it, it's just like, oh, you can't accept the fact that I am a talented ass nigga, and these niggas is propping me up to be a successful motherfucker based upon what I do because you don't agree with it. But if we're gonna go on culture, if we're gonna go on culture, niggas is mad a Canadian Jew came into fucking America and became a top hip hop artist. If we're gonna boil it down to what it is, yo.
Yeah. Niggas is mad because Drake is an American. Niggas
He's
is
a
mad
culture vulture. He's a culture vulture.
And I don't listen. Drake has culture vulture ways. Yes.
If I'm in Houston, my play is with Jay Prince. I'm in Houston. I am wandering around Houston. I am soaking up the atmosphere of Houston. I am a Canadian I'm a Canadian Jew. I'm down in Houston. This is the music I'm making. Of course,
like Lil Wayne said, nigga, be you. Stick to what you
know.
Stick to what you know.
He is him. But I don't want to get into that. But what
do we not agree with the cosplay? People saying he's cosplaying as a black.
What I'm saying is
this is that.
We see these memes every day on fucking Baltimore pages where it's just like a week in Baltimore, 2 weeks in Baltimore. What it is, dummy, da 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 da.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah. After you be in a place for so long, yeah.
I'm in Houston at the strip club, da 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 da.
You are.
I'm embracing
the culture. Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's just like, if I embrace the culture, November 18th on So Far Gone, if I'm embracing the culture, niggas within the culture who's not getting the spotlight.
I'm not saying his dad's from Houston.
No, his dad's from Memphis.
Memphis, okay. I knew it was
but I'm here, I'm embracing the culture, I'm making songs of that. Niggas who within that realm who feel like they don't get the, like, you need to reach out to us and put us on, is going to feel a certain type of way. And I get that. If a motherfucker come into Baltimore and start doing Baltimore club mixes but don't want to fucking deal with
nobody. This nigga out from Baltimore, YG Tech, Scola, all the fucking Scooter relatives, niggas is going to be fucking pissed. OTR Chaz, Brody Rich, everyone do that shit. So I can understand why... Yeah. I can understand why people would dislike Drake, because this nigga Drake would have come to fucking to Jamaica and now he want to make Jamaican music. Bitch, you not Jamaican. Get the fuck out of our.
Yeah, but we are not realizing that this nigga is from where? Toronto, which is a very multicultural area.
It is multicultural, yes. It
so
is.
The thing is this: he was from Toronto. He was on Degrassi. Like, niggas just come on, yo. Niggas, can we roll this shit down to some real shit? Niggas just hate that he's successful, yo. Because his success isn't some shit. His success isn't some shit that should be celebrated within the black community, because he is not a part of the black community.
I think niggas is hating.
It's always hate.
I think niggas is hating.
It's three things. It's three things that are at the bottom of shit. Of hate. Success, money, and women.
He got all three.
Niggas hate niggas who's fucking all the bitches because they feel like they should be fucking the bitches. Niggas hate niggas who get money because they trying to wonder out how the fuck this nigga get all the fucking money. It's success. But the crazy shit to me is a lot of y'all niggas use this nigga to be successful.
Yes.
And then all
every
of a
nigga
sudden,
that diss Drake has a song with Drake. Everybody, everyone.
So just, all right, so with the heart and wrapping it up, I felt like this is probably the best lineage of diss tracks we've been seeing.
This definitely will go down in history.
The greatest of all time.
Yeah.
As far as just timing back to back, the level, nobody slacked. Nobody slacked in this shit. We done got good deep songs with metaphors, triple entendres, double entendres, quintuple entendres. We done had hit records, but I think when it boils down to it, in the final battle of the win, we already know what wins the match.
Kendrick won the fucking battle, nigga. Kendrick
You know
won.
why? Do you know why? Because the nigga that make motherfuckers dance is always gonna be the one that wins.
And Drake ain't make nobody fucking dance. And that's what he's known for. He dropped Family Matters, and it's like, all right, that shit was hard, bro. The video was hard. But, like, this nigga, when... I wish, me personally, what day was that? May the 4th, when it dropped, I wish I was in Cali at that time. I wish that it was like 8 o'clock, Saturday evening, we in Cali, we ready to go to the club that night. Kendrick just dropped dissing Drake, calling him a pedophile, and this on a hard-ass DJ Mustard beat. I know for a fact in California, that was a moment. That was a time. And now, every club we go to in Cali, all the videos I see on TikTok, Instagram, wherever social media platform I go on, the DJs is running that shit. Mm-hmm. They running that shit. So, like I said, I feel like the culture definitely spoke. It's no need. We don't need academics to say shit. We don't need Joe Budden to say shit. We don't need them to say shit. Kendrick and Drake, they put their music out. The people fucking with Kendrick.
My issue is this. Let motherfuckers be fans, yo. If this nigga academics is riding with Drake and he's getting the intel from Drake,
Joe Budden said that he was talking to Drake throughout the course of the beat too.
Let that be, like, come on. Like, we in a different era. Like, it don't have to be on some, like, oh, he dick riding or some shit. Like, yo, that's just who he's riding with. It's his favorite artist. Just like all these other, for academics, is a nigga that's on fucking Kendrick. Glazing the shit out of fucking Kendrick. Like, come on.
I haven't seen nobody go as hard.
Yes, he did. Ebro and all them niggas is glazing the shit out of Kendrick. We already know it and shit. We already know Joe Budden stinks. This nigga is dancing. He do, but he dancing because he know that Kendrick did some shit that he couldn't do.
Yeah.
So, all in that, at the end of this dust smoke settling, we don't even know what the fuck is going on. Niggas got shot out front of fucking Drake house. We don't know what the fuck is going on at this point.
And just for the record, we heard that don't got shit to do with Kendrick. This seems like some Canadian beef. This seems like some EXO versus OVO shit that they got going on out there. We don't know what the fuck going on, but
all right. So from this moment on, we seen in this rap battle, motherfuckers been slinging mud and painting narratives. Mm-hmm. One narrative about Drake is the pedophilia, the Epstein, the Weinstein shit. Mm-hmm. For Kendrick, it's we don't know what's really going on with your life, with your wife, with your kids.
It's just the mystery of it all.
And the abuse.
Yeah.
This is why I felt like Drake was painted into a rock and a hard place, because it's just like, y'all criticize the nigga for not saying shit about the allegations. And then you criticize him for saying and denying something about the allegations.
As if he's indicting himself by
so,
on the allegations.
I don't really know where that stands at as far as like what you bring.
Let me interject here. Okay, Drake, this isn't the first time that people have said these things about Drake. This isn't the first time, like, Kendrick not the first nigga to come out and say, yo, you fuck with young bitches. He's not the first person to say that. There have been videos of Drake at concerts. I'm pretty sure we are all familiar with the infamous viral video of Drake at a concert. I don't know what year this was in, but apparently the girl was 17. He was older than 21. She was a minor.
He was 23.
Compliment on her body and
shit.
Yeah, so it's like, all right, Kendrick and the domestic violence allegations against him could very much still be true, but there's no evidence of that. There's evidence of Drake being sus. There's evidence of him being sus. It is a lose-lose situation. Ben is though that like you're damned if you speak on it, and you're damned if you don't speak on it. Because it kind of looks sus whichever way you go. It's really a fucked up situation, which is why I double down on like if it wasn't factual information, that can really tarnish a black man's reputation and his name. That's not the case.
I think here's the thing. You have the videos, you have people saying what they're saying. It's always been out there. It's been out. This nigga that built his career in the midst of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All these niggas that don't like this nigga now was using this nigga on songs and was benefiting from the songs while the shit was going on. But as far as now, everybody is just like, it's the fucking boiling point that you would say of trying to throw the spotlight on everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the shit has been denied from the people who was involved, but we already know how that's going to go, because it's going to be
that can be looked at in two different.
It's looked at two different lights. One, y'all niggas are interpreting the shit the wrong way because you want it to be true, and two, they paid off these motherfuckers to say the shit.
You're making this nigga look worse. Like you're making him look worse. Like clearly, this nigga pays you to come out on Instagram and make a post on your story saying that it wasn't what we thought it was.
If we're looking at the two different lights, it's just kind of like Diddy. The whole shit with Diddy that came downhill because Cassie has filed a civil lawsuit against this nigga.
Right.
Like Deshaun Watson. A lot of the women came out. None of them said he didn't do this shit when this shit came out. It just was a simple fact that when it went to the court, whatever happened wasn't liable to be a charge. Mm-hmm. So regardless of what he's done, it wasn't enough to arrest this nigga for. But in a civil suit where you don't need the proof, and you literally clearly you was with the woman. So whatever y'all said happened, you don't have proof to say it didn't happen. Like if she say you was sexually assaulted, if she say she was sexually assaulted in a civil suit, you have to prove that she wasn't sexually assaulted, but you've already admitted that you had sex with her.
Yeah. So
the incident did occur. So I think we have on a timetable to look at that. As far as Kendrick and the abuse, just like how people bring up if Drake would have roped the shit after Family Matters came out, Meet the Grams, and was just like, well, see, we fed you the information, nigga.
He should have said that before the hard part.
But we didn't. But when you look at the whole situation, nobody is bringing up a simple fact of, well, if he didn't beat up Whitney, she should come out with a statement to say that she didn't get beat up. Dave Free should come out with a statement to say that this is not his kid. Yeah. So we're not looking at it the same. We're not charging it the same and shit. We're looking at it differently.
Yeah, because a lot of people are starting to say now that if Drake is so keen to sending cease and desist and so forth and so on, when Kendrick came up with the pedophile allegations, why didn't he sue him for defamation? And why isn't Kendrick suing for defamation, being as though that he's accusing him of domestic violence?
Because they can't.
So it's like, I mean, why can't they?
Because then you gotta. It's like being called a pedophile, and like, if the public opinion come out, they're like, well, I sued this nigga for defamation. It's like,
because if it's not true, it's not true. If it's not true, it's not true.
Hey. And
you can sue a nigga for lying on your fucking name if you want.
I put it like this. It's kind of, you gotta react to it the way that you react to it. Kendrick hasn't said anything about the domestic abuse shit. Mm-hmm. Like when Drake has brought it up. So in that thing, he is staying silent and resilient in that nature of just like, hey, if I don't speak on it and I just focus on my opponent and I keep on boxing this nigga, yo, you beat up your bitch. You're a pedophile, nigga. You're a pedophile. You're a pedophile. You're a pedophile. You're a pedophile.
That overshadows me beating up my bitch. Like that overshadows that. Like nigga, you fuck kids, bro. Like you fuck kids. So it's one of those things where it's just like you might not even need to address it, or you just playing it to a degree where I think personally, if you're gonna really just bury and put Drake in the coffin, is just for They Not Like Us video. Just have your wife and kids in the fucking video, and that pretty much just kind of like. Yeah, shoot a video for Not Like Us with your wife and your kids, bro. Kendrick, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. I feel like that's going to come, but even within that, I don't even know. I don't think that would happen. But you could just, if you want to play into those games, if we talk about flipping narratives and trying to paint the picture. I feel like this shit is wrapped up. I feel like after Kendrick called him a pedophile, I feel like Drake is like, it's wrapped. You know why? I don't think he was prepared for Kendrick to say some shit like that. It's wrapped up because of how people interpret her part 6. Yeah. It's wrapped up that way because it's like, oh, well, this nigga Drake don't want to rap no more. Drake said his fucking self. Yeah, but it's back to the creativity of the aspect of how somebody is pinning some shit. And I feel like I think the issue with Drake is when he pins some shit, certain people look at it a certain type of way, other people look at it in a different type of way. It's like, I'm pinning this shit like, yo, I see why you obsessed with this shit. I see why you tripling down with this shit. I see the angle that you're going with. I don't even want to go down this route no more with you. Because that's the only thing you can harp on. Yeah. And I don't even want to feed into the nature of you being a woman beater. I don't even want to feed into this shit because didn't you say some shit about you going to pull your shit off of fucking streaming platforms if they pull R. Kelly shit off of a platform? Like, what is going on right now and shit? So that's the nature of it in which you writing it, but niggas just looking at, oh, he's conceding and he's defending himself. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you don't speak on the allegations, then he must have did this shit.
If he speak on the allegations, he did that shit. So it's not a battle that you can really. With those type of allegations, I put it like this: with those type of allegations, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. With beating up a woman, I don't think it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think if you don't speak on it, and she don't speak on it, and nobody else speaks on it,
the bitch ain't getting beat up. It's like no. We don't condone that shit, yo. But nah, yo.
But I'm saying, one of the memes was, it was like, Drake said Kendrick beat up his girl and shit, and it's just like, it was the Chevelle was like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's just like, it goes to show you that in these motherfucking households, what really be going down. Yeah. And niggas don't be speaking on this shit because all the motherfuckers that are ready to be critical about a motherfucker about some shit is doing that shit.
But yeah, that's what I'm about to say. The number of niggas in the industry is probably beating up their girlfriends and shit is an extreme number. So it's like, how many niggas is about to be mad that Kendrick beating up his bitch in comparison to how many niggas about to be mad that Drake's fucking kids?
I'll put it like this. If we were still in the era of what, I feel like the battle would be different if we were still in the era of Chris Brown beating up Rihanna.
Oh yeah, for sure. When that shit happened,
that shit was one of those things where it was just like, we seen the pictures. That shit ruined, I wouldn't say ruined his career because he's still a successful artist, but it put a glass ceiling on top of what his success could be. He's still dealing with this shit. Quavo just had a diss with this nigga talking about beating up a bitch. It ain't never gonna leave. The stain is never gonna leave. So with Drake, the stain is never gonna leave. The whole,
and we didn't see the damage that Kendrick did.
It's not gonna leave. The kids shit ain't gonna leave. Like it's a lot of stains on Drake's jacket that he has.
Every time this nigga get dissed, it costs him something major that the other artist doesn't necessarily have to sacrifice. When he beefed with Meek, it was the ghostwriter exposure. When he beefed with Pusha T, it was he was hiding the son that he had with a sex worker. Now he's beefing with Kendrick. Now he's a pedophile. It's like, this nigga can't win. You need to just leave niggas alone and just make this music. And when niggas diss you, just shut the fuck up. Don't even respond,
No. Here's the thing. What nigga is going toe to toe with all these niggas? This is the same nigga y'all say ain't part of hip hop.
So is all these niggas cool with each other and niggas just don't fuck with Drake?
What I'm saying is, this is the same. No, you know what happened? Is it was a good story until that nigga got powerful. And they said, fuck, we done made a monster. That's what happened.
Yeah, because everybody fucked with Drake at one point.
That's what the fuck happened.
Everybody fucked with Drake.
But what I'm saying is,
one of A$AP Rocky's biggest songs.
All y'all say
is because of Drake.
All y'all say he's this, he's that, he's a culture vulture, he's this, he's that. He's the only nigga that been putting it down. He done been in the battle. He ain't shy away from shit. I mean, the Pusha T shit, but he was in this. He took on the Pusha T shit because of Wayne.
Yeah.
That wasn't no beef between him and Pusha T. That was some Wayne shit that he took on. And you ain't heard shit from Wayne no more. This nigga out here by himself, yo.
Drake had the longest run, yo.
He by himself out here battling these niggas, yo.
Drake has had the longest run, and I feel like
don't
like it.
I feel like later, depending on what happened with everything.
He a light-skinned pretty boy, he get all the bitches. These niggas don't like that shit, yo. His music getting played at all the clubs, the bitches is shaking ass. He out here with Sexy Red, one of the biggest names right now in the music industry. She's shaking ass. It's too much shaking ass and money being made, bro. These niggas don't like that shit. Yachty, he that nigga. This nigga Drake got Yachty in the arsenal. This nigga Yachty coming out with Concrete. Like, yo, Drake is him. Drake is him. These niggas don't like it. I'm not discounting Future because out of all of these niggas, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Out of A$AP, man, The Weeknd, everybody who dissed this nigga, Future ain't even continue to really shit on this nigga. Like he didn't even continue to shit on this nigga.
It seems like he got a growing issue with government and shit. I don't even know.
And that could be next episode because I'm just now finding out about that shit today. And then Sukion and JT. Yeah. And Suki this 8, but we ain't gonna talk about that neither. So, but you know.
In conclusion, with everything Kendrick won. I just don't want it to be. I don't want it to be one of those things.
Kendrick won, y'all.
I don't want it to be one of those things where we fall, where we discredit what everybody put into this beef. Because some niggas backed out. Some niggas backed out of the beef.
And we light-skinned, nigga. So some you know what the fuck we
Some niggas backed out of the beef. But the one battle we wanted to see of the two Titans, Godzilla and Kong, we had it.
And that just leads me into my little your man for real. J. Cole. This for anybody. Always stand 10 toes on whatever the fuck you do in this life. I don't give a fuck who it affect, nigga. Stand 10 toes, nigga. J. Cole should have never put that diss out if he knew for a fact that he wasn't feeling like that. If he knew for a fact he wasn't feeling like that, bitch, you came out and apologized to this nigga and said sorry. After you he disrespected you, you disrespected him, and now you're sorry? Don't backpedal, don't backstep. Always be you. Stay true to who the fuck you is and how you feel, nigga. Don't let nobody influence you. Dictate your decision making. Be true to yourself. I wanted J. Cole to be true to himself. If he felt like he didn't want to diss Kendrick, if he felt like he was friends with Kendrick, he was a fan of Kendrick, he should have never did that shit. He should have never put himself in a position where he was going to have to apologize and backtrack. I stand 10 toes on everything that I do. I don't backtrack. I'm not sorry about shit. So, yeah, nigga, stand 10 toes. Don't be sorry. Don't apologize. Don't do some shit that you will be sorry about later on down the line.
Facts.
And that's facts. Because everything I do in my life, I mean that shit. And I'm proud of it. And if I ain't proud about it, bitch, we ain't gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna say fuck sorry. I'm not trying to get
And I'm just saying, let's just appreciate the battle for what it is. Let's just appreciate the battle for what it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know a lot of people wanted this to get back to rap, but I feel like when we have
rap beef is bad.
We have to also understand what comes with it. And I think let's just take some time and appreciate. Let's just appreciate the shit that we got. Because I don't think nobody lacked in the shit. I just think it's about painting the narrative. And I feel like one narrative is stronger than the next narrative. And I feel like a lot of people are clickbaiting and echo chambering. And I feel like a lot of motherfuckers is trying to be obtuse about what the fuck they listening to, trying to create and feed into certain narratives instead of just appreciating the fact of
they gave us quality music.
Rebuttals, quality music, hits, and you don't know these niggas. You don't know these niggas.
Stop speculating, Ed. You ain't even
you don't know these niggas, bro. I'm just saying. You don't know these niggas. You don't know these niggas. You could say Drake has all these ghostwriters, but y'all motherfucking savior went toe to toe with this nigga on some rap battle shit. If he felt such a way about this nigga having ghostwriters, he wouldn't even engage with this nigga.
To rap against him, yeah.
Come on.
I know for a fact Drake writes. If he got ghostwriters, I know Drake writes at least some of his shit. At least some of it.
Can we get back to the music? Because with him knocking Drake out of the position at the end, Kendrick needs to step up. We need to hear shit from this nigga every year. He need to stay active.
Kendrick, don't do what you did, Kendrick.
Be the king, nigga.
Be
the king. Because who else is going to step up? Cole? Who? Lil Baby? NBA young boy.
That nigga in jail, ain't he? Free YB, yo. Free YB. Red pick him out and nigga. Yeah, nigga. Free these niggas,
But
man.
On the outro, yo, off the riff with Tori Trance.
Off the